everything that I've been working towards and everything that I'm now trying to convey to a larger audience. I never thought I'd become a motivational speaker. The whole thing sounds like something we used to do in the Soviet Union, which is gather a group of people and motivate them to be more communist. I just thought, you know, if I have something to say or something to add, that I should try to do that. And now all of a sudden I end up in Kansas. It's like a witness relocation program or something. Because nobody will ever hear from me again. There is a reaction to it, and there is a lot we can do. Of course, I find myself in a strange situation. I was a dancer, professional dancer. I danced on Broadway. And fortunately for me, when I got the news, I was in okay shape. I was heavier. I was growing a belly because I was, you know, like a ballet master. What I'm trying to say is that I was beginning to lead a life that was going to make me older. And with age, we lose certain capacities to fight these horrible afflictions, like Parkinson's, like Alzheimer's, and many others. And the thing is, for those of you, us, we have it. You, maybe not. For those of you that don't have any of these neurodegenerative guests, you know, you can do a lot to never develop any of them. Because it's a change in lifestyle that ultimately declares whether you're going to be successful and fight it, or you're going to deteriorate like the rest of humanity, which is what happens to us. This is the environment we live in, the lifestyles that we choose. So now I guess my role and my mission is to not only help people with Parkinson's, but also tell people who are completely healthy at the moment that you should really try and start taking care of yourselves, because inevitably something will spring up. You know, when we get weaker, we get attacked. So to be almost symptom-free, like me at the moment, is attainable. It's achievable, because when I got diagnosed, I was, you know, doing my own little disco dance and having all sorts of troubles, and most of it, thankfully, is gone. And that hasn't happened to too many people with Parkinson's, because Parkinson's it's like waterboarding. It just keeps pushing your head underwater, and you have to come up, you have to take a deep breath and take care of yourself. And one thing I'd like to add to this little monologue is that it's the discipline that wins the battle. Because you can listen to 10, 20, 30 people that will come here and preach the best stuff, the best ideas, the best medicine, the best exercises. But the bottom line is that you have to do them, and you have to do them all the time. That's your new lifestyle. So I'm not standing here as a product of some medication or fantasy. This is all hard work, because it's true. My day is what you saw. It's exercising, eating right, trying to cut down on the stress. When I stop by afterwards and ask me something, like, what do I do? I'll say, do this. All right. Okay. Well, it's nice to be here. I got to meet so many great people. I've been here a day and a half. And I often find myself being a little bit of a missing link between the neurologist and the patients. And I'm one of the patients. Because oddly enough, I've had Parkinson's now for, I think, about 8 years. Going to various doctors over the years, they never ask me what it is I do, which is really strange. And you saw what I do. I'm shamelessly topless everywhere in this film. And I guess, you know, to get the message across, you need some nudity. But my neurologist to this day, not one of them, they wonder how I do it, because I don't necessarily, you know, have the visible symptoms of Parkinson's yet. I get them every now and then, but I keep Parkinson's at bay, just like I say in the film, only because I put so much effort into it. There is no easy way. There is no pill that would ultimately work to reduce all the symptoms. But there is a lot we can do. So
once I realized that my doctors, and by the way, I'm not being overly critical, this is just, this is the fact of life. I would love to put together a little schedule for my doctors to tell them, this is what I do, this is how I wake up in the morning, and this is when I go to bed, and in between, there's so much work that's involved in keeping yourselves healthy. You're doing great, you're so funny, I do great. So now, the side effect of Parkinson's is that I'm a comedian. Well, that's nice. Yeah, so I guess I'll shake with the best of them. But there is so much we can do. I know I represent a unique case because I was a dancer, and when I got my diagnosis, I was a little heavier. I was developing this ballet master belly. I think I even started teaching with more of a Russian accent just to be, more real. But the thing is, I was becoming a middle-aged man. Actually, I was 53 when I did this edit, and I'm 55 now. So little by little, I am getting older. I learned so much in these 8 years. Even being a unique athletic specimen, I've lost like 23, 24 pounds. I really take care of myself. This is all true. I never smoked, don't drink that much, well, sometimes, with no visible side effects. And I guess my mission has somehow evolved that I have to tell people at any age, at any stage of this progression, what you can do. The only problem is I have to tell each one individually. So I thought I have to develop some kind of a program where people can come, and if I spend 10, 15 minutes with them, I could tell them much better what you should do. So I don't have a magic course of action, but I'll tell you one interesting thing. If you don't exercise, if you don't prescribe to any particular movement that you have to practice, because with us, with Parkinson's patients, we need to practice all over again how to regain our balance, how to regain our confidence, how to regain our sense of just being upright. Well, believe it or not, just standing up straight, just lifting your chest, your chin, your neck, as if you're going to sing something. That's a form of exercise, because Parkinson's wants to fold us in half. And we have to counteract that by unfolding, releasing that body that we used to have. And all of a sudden your spirit joins in, and then you feel better. And just by doing that, it's already a form of exercise and winning little battles that we must win every day. It's in small victories that we can gain some measure of hope and then practical magic that will make us feel and be better. So across the board, I can tell you, find 30 minutes during the day and just move. Just listen to your physical therapist, movement therapist, whoever you work with. Or just don't get up out of bed and do nothing and collapse. Get out of bed and go, God, I feel good. Just something that will give you that little bit of an edge over Parkinson's. Because Parkinson's, again, as I eloquently put it in the film, it is a pain in the ass. I mean, let's face it. This thing, it comes at you from so many angles. So we have to do whatever we can. Now, one thing, of course, I'm sure you've heard from your doctors, or your common sense tells you, is that you have to eat right. What does that mean? Well, if I have to explain it, maybe you don't have Parkinson's, maybe we should talk about something else. You have to eat right. You have to eat less. Because believe it or not, this is something I discovered. When I'm really, really hungry, I don't have any symptoms. I don't know why. And then I have, something to eat, and all of a sudden my symptoms come back, but then they go away again. So there is some gastrointestinal component. Again, I'm not a scientist. I'm only telling you what works for me, and they work for you. Try different things. Smaller portions, better food. Don't buy anything in the supermarket. Go to a farmer's market. Because whatever they have there, it seems to have its own magic. And we're not in the Soviet Union where we have like one potato for an entire family for a week. You know, we have food. We can find berries. We can find green things that grow. You know, just don't mistake them. You have to eat them, not smoke them. Because some people don't make that distinction. So if you find half an hour during the day to devote to movement, there are very smart people that I've met since I got here that will teach you how to move, how to regain the strength and balance. Again, without strength, we don't have balance. Without balance, we don't have any confidence. So it's a gradual process of just being able to stand on your two legs and work from the bottom up. Parkinson's is destroying us from the head to the toes. Well, we have to fight it from our toes to our head, because this will give you so much more confidence. You will feel better. And I hope I made that very clear in the film. And now that you see me live, you know, I'm not on batteries, I'm a real person. And I have good energy. I've basically changed my life over the last 8 years. I know it's hard to believe, because I probably represent, like I said, a missing link. I want to help people who lost some hope or would love to hear an alternative way of doing things. And I guess this is going to become my mission. This is really like my first time addressing a group of people that are gathering, and I know you all look very hopeful, and you do believe in therapies, and the medications are wonderful, but the medications are there for us. They're not going to cure us. They will give us those moments when we feel better, and what you should do while you're feeling better, you must aggressively attack the disease. The pills are there not to cure, but to give us that half an hour of extra strength and balance that we can't just go after it, go after it, go after it. Now, of course, you are physical therapists, you're doctors, or me right now, I can tell you what you must do. But I will tell you, this was the good news. The bad news is that it's so entirely up to you that if you don't do it constantly, it will probably not work. So whatever magic powers that I try to convey into you and I try to inject you with, anything will only work if you commit to it from this moment forward. You do it every day, and in a week, in a month, several months, you will wake up and you will feel better. It takes a little bit of time, because we all come into this process with different set of genes, different mindset, different condition. Some of you may not be able to do it for a while because it is too difficult. But you still have to try it, because unfortunately we don't have an alternative. We are the alternative. We have to want to get better in a hurry. And that's my main message. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure out how to present what I discovered on my own. Because when I was diagnosed, I remember sitting and teaching class. And, you know, I teach high-end professionals in New York. And I was so worried that they weren't going to take me seriously if I'm sitting there and I'm just moving and I can't stop shaking. Then I thought, well, maybe I should start teaching jazz. You know? And instead of ballet, I'll just go walk into the room and go, hey, how you doing? And they go, oh, well, he's on already. That's good. We'll have a good class. But I teach ballet, so it's, you know, it's very, very slow, very beautiful movement. And thank God, about 6 or 7 months ago, I actually felt so much better that I thought, well, you know what, I think I will demonstrate again. Because ballet masters, we don't have to do anything. We just have to look cool and have an accent. You know? Like say something in Russian, people go, oh, he's so good. not really. I just have a Russian accent. And if you wear all black, they just go crazy. Oh, he's a real ballet master. Well, not really. You still have to know what you're doing. So I was so worried that the perception is going to change that I had to tell everybody, okay, look, I've got this thing. I have Parkinson's. And then they said, you do? Because I wasn't showing much of symptoms. So I thought, okay, all right, everybody's cool with it. I got a lot of support. People were asking me, how is that possible? I said, I don't know. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't know why I got this. Well, now I'm beginning to realize that the reason is maybe to transform from a simple ballet master to somebody who can help people. Like this group, for instance. Because just to be standing here and looking at you, I was like, I feel like this is so much more interesting than ballet, because you can teach a person how to dance, but what I have to teach everybody how to live with having Parkinson's is so much more rewarding. And it's such complicated dance that by the time we're finished with it, we should have our own dance company. It's a difficult process, but it's such a great process because you're working towards something that will make you feel better. And that's not an incentive. I don't know what it is. I really don't, because if the doctors, you know, it's hard to be a neurologist because they don't have the information that we have. And I'm not a neurologist, but I am a mover who has Parkinson's. And that gives me a little bit of an advantage because I can talk to a doctor and say, you know what, you should try this with your patients. And they're listening, they're beginning to listen little by little. They're asking me now to appear in the meetings and seminars. And I hope to tell them exactly what I know, exactly what I've experienced. And it's that experience which brought me to this stage through these wonderful people who heard something, saw something, want to find out more. I'm sure you can find my email. I will always respond. I'll try to respond to email because I get it from all over the world, really. The theory that I have is that we have to strengthen our foundation. If we don't have our legs under us, well, how can we support anything else? So we have to get our feet, just by doing this, you can lean on the wall and just do a little lift like that. You know, at first you're going to cramp, you're going to feel pain, the next day you won't be able to walk. But, you know, that's a pretty regular occurrence with us. You know, we don't walk too well to begin with, so this is okay. But you, all of a sudden, in about a week or two, you feel stronger. That's a good thing. Then, instead of going on your toes, you start bending your knees. Again, hold on to the wall or anybody you're near. And people wouldn't mind. You know, you can stop people at the wall because they really don't want to be there. So you just say, can you stand there? Yeah, give me your shoulder. That's it. Just 10 minutes. You'll be done. Give him $10, he'll stay there for 20 minutes. So just do this. All of a sudden, your thighs, your legs are getting bigger, and you're getting, you know, ballet dancers like ass. So, which is another good thing, you know. So if you think about it, little by little, you're getting stronger, you're getting tighter, you know, and everybody begins to notice, like, what are you doing? He said, well, I'm just doing this little leg thing. And then it begins to affect your head. You start feeling so much better, so much stronger, your foundation is better, that you want to continue. Then you start working on your stomach, on your chest, on your abs.
your demeanor is incredible. Just, you know, you're in the short period of
Right.
you know, interacting with you and seeing what's this done for you personally and professionally.
Right.
I mean, as far as how has this affected
My work.
your outlook towards it?
Right. Just about 8 years ago, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's. Of course, there was a tremendous amount of uncertainty and fear at first, because when you're given that diagnosis at a tender age of 47, I think I was, you just don't expect it to be you. You just kind of go, doctor, are you kidding me? Are you sure? And the doctor gives you the bad news. Yes, you do have Parkinson's. And then he gives you the second bad news within seconds. He says, and there is no cure. And you go, oh, how am I supposed to leave this office on my own now? I'm going to need help just to get out of here. This is depressing. And fortunately for me, after the diagnosis, which was on the east side of Central Park, somewhere near Fifth Avenue, where all the, you know, very important doctors are, I walked to the west side, and roughly 20 minutes after I got the diagnosis, I decided that whatever news I just got is going to stay on the east side. I'm not going to bring it with me on the west side. And it was kind of miraculous that I had this idea that somehow I'm going to beat this thing, but I'm going to do it in a way that I'm going to have to search far and wide in how to do it. Because I went to Barnes & Noble and picked up Parkinson's for Dummies, and 10 pages into it, I put that book down and I never looked at it again. It's just too depressing. As a patient, I don't want to hear or I don't want to see on every page that there is no cure. I got it. I heard it. So I just started taking care of myself even better, and I came up with a few slogans over the years, which are my original slogans, is that sometimes in life you have to get sick in order to feel this good. And that's pretty much how I live my life. If I'm not taking care of myself, well, I'm not helping myself. And the older you get, the harder you work. And the harder you work, the younger you get. And that's been my mantra. You can work around these debilitating neurodegenerative disorders. It takes dedication, it takes a completely different lifestyle, and it just takes an unshakable belief. I guess you can shake things the right way.